There's a photograph of a man that's pumping oxygen into the lungs of an 8-year-old girl. This is outside of the Shifa hospital in Aleppo. And this photograph is, this photograph, for me, it's important because it summarizes a lot of the things that happen in Aleppo. It summarizes the hope that this man has in saving this girl by pumping oxygen. She is clinically dead. The doctor told us that she wasn't going to make it. But the doctor didn't tell this young man to the doctor didn't take the hope away. And so he kept pumping oxygen for many hours, and it was just it was a victim of aircraft. In fact, they were driving into the city of Aleppo at night, and the aircraft shot at their vehicle and injured the father, the girl's brother, and she got fatally injured in the head by shrapnel from the .50 caliber machine gun from the airplane. A few colleagues that I knew and they had already been inside Syria. There wasn't a lot of coverage coming out of Syria, particularly last summer in 2012. There was news coming out, but not enough as I felt that it could benefit from more coverage. I still think that Syria would benefit from more coverage. I would like to see a lot of journalists going into Syria because I think the more news that comes out of that place, the better. Aleppo, like many cities in Syria, are very rich in history, very rich in architecture, and the old city, the citadel in Aleppo, the old city in Homs, Damascus itself. They're cities that they have centuries of travel. They're part of the Silk Road. Aleppo, being the commercial capital, it's the commercial capital of the region for many centuries. So there's a lot of, there's a human toll, which is the numbers are, I think, conservative right now. They still use 70,000, but it's much more than that. There's places that there's no record. There's people that are disappeared. You don't really count those people. So the human toll in lives lost across Syria, it's staggering in only 2 years. And the cultural loss of history, of historic buildings like the old souks in the city of Aleppo and the old city of Aleppo, that they're fairly damaged. The Umayyad Mosque is destroyed. It's a huge loss culturally, but at this point, it's the bigger loss is human lives, of course, and that's happening every day still. I think anybody that goes to a place to work in photojournalism, in journalism, any job that you do, I think anybody that says that they're doing the job for purely altruistic reasons, I think they're lying to themselves. So we all move to a place because it challenges us, because it's a story that we want to cover, because we believe that hasn't received enough coverage. There's a lot of reasons that drive us. The difference is, I guess, why do you stay and cover this story? I typically like to do stories for longer term rather than maybe a few weeks at a time. So why do you stay covering Syria? You stay because you've made friends. We have colleagues that we've lost in Syria. We have emotional ties to the story. If you don't get emotionally involved in a story, I don't think you produce your best work. And once you do get involved in a story, you're invested in the story and you stay with the story. In the case of Syria, that's the way I've preferred to work, instead of just doing a quick in and out trip.